So I just first wanted to start this interview by saying how much all of us appreciate that you're willing to sit down and talk with us and share your story. And we are very, very grateful to be able to hear your perspective of your life.
아니 도마들라니 고즈 상방문에 케라라니 케야기 미슬루 유다 딘데토라니라 도와 페다 아니 갈롭나에서도 디토라 투지치슈인 상방문에 text를 투지치슈인 Same to you. Thank you.
So where were you born?
아니 게라 충사 가와레서 계사
계사나 칸르메리
in Kham, called one particular region, Markham.
And do you know when you were born?
아니 가두케레스 켈로 케세스
켈로 지도 구자 순주 속을 제사.
Yes. In 1939. Don't remember the date, month.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
아니 부빈도다 부모 빈자든데 바지마지들이 여외서.
바지마지 보스운동 부모스 미시 주요라.
There were 6 siblings, 3 brothers, 3 sisters.
What order were you in?
아니 걔가 gembar에 중앙에 그 방림으로 가와래고.
나 게히디.
This one.
What did your parents do for a living?
아니 거기 바이라 파마초케 건석이 초학계라니 가르치고 그래. 신바치고 로바치고 가르치고 그랬어.
무슨 신바이야? 신바리.
Yeah, they are farmers. Parents are farmers.
When you were in Tibet, did you attend school there?
아니 별로유디 랍다데 드로뉴에서.
별로유디 로중나고 띠지 다디 진디 중마스디 나는 랍다 데마트는 수수 난 데데요. 랍다 진체 간 쿠제바 제가 중마송라.
gomba labdare chidang
marim date gomba no
labdarang
susu rang labda sa misi yo mare susu gigen susu chiare yege yizu gigen susu chiare misan lote chi yo mare.
Yeah, he says he did his parents did try to educate them, but due to his poor health, he couldn't continue. And also what he adds is that we don't have normal usual established school like that, but we have to go for seek personal tutors, go for that individually, seek classes like from individual person, not like school setting.
Can you explain what your illness was?
아니 랍다 도마토 에지 수부 네 수부야부 조마송소 아디디 가 수카레 나자로지 가레
나자로 부다지 가르나인 디디 페제르로 가지지나 정아 주르지 인지 들어지 걸리 나야데 가르다 나야데 나산데리 세야좀 다리손 집 여비 되게 민도
you can remember also it was around at a 15 16 like that, and she says and combination of many factors means many disease means he couldn't point one that was the reason for dropout. He couldn't the reason why he couldn't continue his education, but illness, he can't name specific illness that was responsible for that.
Did that impact your life in any other ways?
And that lobjung mutu che matu ba jero di tsamado ani khala dijela ni lega da ani mitse thole kyun de japsoyas di nazadi
no dena che jema so te ka kai jema so
not that serious. It didn't impact no other serious way.
Could you tell me something about your memories of Tibet?
아니 다 genkyagi 파이 값스라 베지기라
나리
텐소다 칼로다 파기라 내주죠라다 중두기 내주래 파이 요베카기 내주라가 강도도 시성로시다서
노스 파이 중두고 빼는 것은 손주 속을도 자리 손주 속은네 이쪽 다 이쪽 희송 기기다 봐도 기라 템바 유지 말아야 아주다 템바 찔리네 시주 시두 지드네 지주 시두 지든 시지 시고 nga cho zamne be de longa du chi de te lumba khorom te khyachne jindu lumba te chebo hibre
Yes.
te ne kanga de koyang ma sen chebo chobo
Yes.
저당 리가 먼저 봐 리가 제제글 리가 전에 배 후첨부 제글 제글 리가 제비 제리 리가 전에 집파 센집부지고 돈 달리가 제주요 캔 나는 배 룸바 프론티 뉴자는 진도 배 제버래 아나 된다지 바로 지동 고장 맞죠 인다 된다지 자데 리에서 자들리네 로치니 제 자우스 데스 아나 때 룸바데 파기는지 야미가 차지나 마마제 거르때는 때 상생 계산에 자르들 마마제 거요 때 룸바데 때 좁아 차서 사자고를 레 사자 룸바 코론지 마 소나데 마지 냐는 때 룸바 코론도 나보다 뿌라 쇼르고도 때 아니 좁아 차서 전에
As he said, he was born in 1939, so for first 3-4 years he can't remember much. No, for say from 45 to 50, there was pre-Chinese entry. No, so he felt at that time, though with limited resources, they are, as he said, they were farmer. No, there is no machinery. Everything's though farmings are done by very laborious, labor intensive. They have to rely on hard, human, effort. Everything there is much to be done, but the environment or the society itself is very, very peaceful, harmonious, and he felt that even the environment, hills, all these things have some aura, of peace, harmony. All these they look majestic like that. And after that, after 1950, when Chinese began to roll in, the People's Liberation Army, Red Chinese, for first 2 years it was not that worse, but after 2 years, being Markham, like other Kham region and Amdo region, they lie to the east of Tibet, so they are bordering China. They are first to face the brunt of Chinese invasion. So what he felt is changes are very fast, that even the environment, hills, all looks very faded, and also empty like that, without any grace, and not to speak that people native people's leg got changed, and it became difficult by the day. It was very difficult, even though they say they came to help us, it was other way around. It was just disaster for all Tibetans.
Do you still have family in Tibet, and do you keep in contact with them?
아니 genra kera danda pama pinja zero pai la pinja nende dende pai la danda yore ani duzonyamdu ani dawa chigi wesa
당고만 도지 인도지 주자 디 모solomba no tilibondra yama toya den rogmendo
las
다 야나 지 거란이 존나마 단단디 지 첨부지 존도 되면은 rogmen도 있어 나데 나라 나여서 되서 tilibon rog 마르바제 또
하나 nende dende yo라 pai la yo라 pinja
yore penja nga 파마지바 미지 두는 보송은 gemba sonde 보이 때 보충한데 동사선다 돈에 로가로치스
ale
노페
yeah. His relatives are there, family, even his brothers, one passed away, the youngest brother died, otherwise many of them are there, but it's difficult to communicate with them, and they need special sort of set of say satellite receiver to receive phone like that also is risky, and they are very sort of tapped like by Chinese, so he doesn't get to talk with them very much, they could sometimes through people they get the message like that. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
When you were in Tibet, what were your experiences with Chinese people?
And gela kera bela yodi jami nyamdu dawara chungwe roda jami lesa roda
Jamil Lesari.
lesa di ta diso jami nyamdu ki nyamnyung ro jorada
Lare.
tuwe ki ta jari shwe na re kare na ro
Lare.
nezu yabu de yong shou ro
Lare.
o dende kola ro jami nyamdu dawa che di nezu ka dis jayana dende chi sungro chi tas nyamnyung ro chi
Ngozo ta nga pai deren dedi pai ne chidum guja ngocho nga don de pai ni ya yuan yi.
Rasa.
De mayu konglo ta ngocho nga du zan den to ri lumba no sinja no long song.
Rasa.
De sinja no long so lumba ge pen cheng da gyan du sing ju chan ju na bu so ji re lumba ge. Di konzo na ge 요버질 재미게 미 냠바티 냠바티는 되는 로마노 가르가르 제게도 맞지 드반지 소바데 사안도 소바데 샤 주자되네 고즈 냠바티바데 하고네 지둥 구장한죠 맞죠 강한들이나 나둘이나 지 되네 그 야신에 맨다존이 시자송 시자송 다 되네 가르치는 로마노 상이 생에 아버지 젠데는 소이는 배 샌데 접으차는 면에 리가 차선다 힘바 리가 차선 제구로 와야 아니 진로 로바이는 로바스나 미시 쳐요 말 야가다 사토산 로고가 수준은 만나는 사이에서 되는 제 리얼이라 대권에는 자미게 가르자 다다나 체레 타는 때 나지도 구장어 중아 둘이 때 파진으로 무슬만 라마지요 그 방고스인지 그러면제 다자는 아 치유는 그러면제 야페용은 대왕가 여부요 말이 무슨 말이 나가 여부가 수치자 그러면제 맨단 뜻을 잘 계계가 따셔네 아니 저리 속이 진도 속이는 신이 진도 그래서 맨날 졸 마셔 그러면 저기 찬다 따시기 지 찬다는 나 근데 또 받지 그 얘기 내지 때는 저는 로마네한테 지 야지 용 말이 있었다 무슨 나 자나이 내지도 마음 건대로 와야 자나네 앞에 시조 때마세 탐지 단추는 때네 때 남마 세세기도 계자도 좀 무슨 건데기 열다 예 다야 부용 말이지 때네 사지연은 팽이요만 건지연은 팽이요만 셈바 지는 편이지 그래서 무슨 다겐서 있네 셀흘은 아버지 저 님디준 와 차수
야 this is your gang
노스
so it was around 1957 he moved to left his native place and moved to Lhasa. It was 1957. So it began like 2 years back before 1955. Though Chinese presence was there from 1950, the intensity was growing and so by 1955 there were a lot of unrest. The region Markham and all border region, and what happened is that there is one called leader, the native leader called Andrew, and people got to know that one of his attendant or help subordinate is used by Chinese to spy on the region, native. And he used to give information and to the Chinese, and consequently many get arrested and all these things happen. So they got to know that, and in around 1956 people knew that, and they captured him and shot, hanged. So the situation was getting worse and worse, and though he said, they have to get on with farming, all these things. They used to get not that bad of living by farming, food, clothing, okay, but peace of mind is not there, there is some sense of insecurity, always there is some, and also they used to hear a lot of information that is happening in China, mainland China. What they heard is there is a lot of interrogations, Red Chinese, they call people who they suspect are against them, they call for interrogation and put through prison, and also many of them get killed, hanged, all these things. So by 1957 it was like chaos, sort of total unrest in his native place. So and in one incident, for example, though monks are mainly for spiritual, dharma practices, and even monks are forced to take alms. Like for one instance, he saw one high Lama, maybe due to maybe self security or defensive purpose. When he saw one, when he was going by road, he saw one high Lama holding gun, rifle, so long rifle by the trigger, always ready, and followed by some other attendants with guns, other things, because there is always danger there. Something might happen. So like that, he says Chinese came and destroyed total peace of mind, the whole society there.
So when you saw the lamas and monks taking arms, did you feel that conflicted with Buddhist ideals of nonviolence?
Dangida genso ineshigwa lama dendre gida menda ki odri chungro da ki makirang ki chungro da tin di dang azu chöjing eji da menda ki moni jine da lembu yomoro tin di da di gewa chö da gewa re samsa ro o dendre ro go di tenso tenyo es
ta di dendre di chakon tre ma sun di pechere nga lo 주도 저든지 근데 저든 다다 한 산닝에 빼 된다는 아버지지스 디 아니 디 죽을 계자듯이 뇽다 차례 윤리기 요래 때는 나고지 남마즈이나 계자는 아버지 희에는 미 계자 희에듯이 다주 도바 제금은 차순 가르사 재미게 본예데 다 디사요로 되게 기차데 다다지 치치지 되는 제잖아 디 lumba tene chasim ngonchu dedu ngayune ngonchu ngadene ngonchu ngadu tenan lumba na maza tesu ngosul lumba ne khango me pensen ji tesu ngosul lumba no khrong lumba de jamil ko ngosa ya ngosul lumba dediyo
yes
jundiyo jam khango me ka fosu khango maza tanandi 고조 산도는 책이 그 투이들이 얘는 포즈 사자들 재미는 딱그 시마 둘이도 무슬만이야 조연이
then at that time he was around just 15-16, so it didn't occur much, as you said, conflict between being a Dharma practitioner and carrying that. But what he felt is that due to the environment, maybe they are compelled to for self-defense like that, and not only that, he says that they have been holding against Chinese for a certain amount of time with limited what should I say, limited resources like firearms, ammunition, or these things. And there are many Tibetans who came sort of like refuge to taking refuge in their native place, like people of the current. His was in Samdong Rinpoche, that is the other place, Juba, that place they came here because they lost their land already to the Chinese marching, PLA army. So the situation is very tough, So most men are encouraged to take arms against enemy, So he was not that surprised.
When did you flee Tibet?
아니 변에 자갈을 쭉 가도 배인 배서 전줄라.
든 자갈 치는데 제대 제줄로 유명한데 뭐좀 하고 리모래.
Much like his one Dalai Lama 1959.
Can you explain why you left Tibet?
아니 나 전줄라 용구 야 중전로지 가지 토레스 안티 송로치스.
제줄로 유명한데 다 되디 살리 그래 커야 요만 다지 스스만 타야나 자갈만 타야나 뭐도 디 점미기 세주트나 뜻이 히라히라도 로데션제 하마 권이요마로 그래서 제주도에 하마고 봤지 소소만 다 자갈 말은 기수나 소소 다지 송고 터내야지 너다 고양아지 용거서 주도 자유에 두스리요.
Just like most of Tibetans then out of fear for life, So the situation is not good in Tibet due to Chinese invasion. So mainly due to the hope that it will be better in India, and by following his was Dalai Lama, livelihood and other will be get better in India.
From where did you leave?
아니 자갈 주 용사디 간에 초 간에 배인베스.
어디 묘사도 떠더버려. 깔리디 키다 줘요 말 쓰이래. 네. 좀 하고 두바이. 무사지게 되게 요비. 다디 여러. 다디 두바지 전에 건조하지 요비. 제 고지 두 고인자요 지대주. 특히 파리 통하야노 야지트는 날리유네 다나 컴바 천 자갈 동거 요마래 컴바 자갈 동거 요만 데 뒤에서 키키 랑갈 마타 나랑 다바 지켄 다바들은 뭐라지 그 헤두인도 라나 참진도 델리에 자는 뒤에서 두바 sen다 지금 농도를 다 then malluation yegi ranguyanza he doing no he doing ranguyanza red lad ma jones ma joluna magi 년년 산에서 마포터니
아래 가촌에 파리 renjongchonre
디 샤시만 생기지요데 샤시만 나토데 노래 재미기 찌찌사디 얘기요라 재미기
나다 자가 초전에 가기고
자가 초전에 다 칼레부초
알레 칼레부초 renjongchonro
레레 런주다 티니 바르데 칼레부초 런주디 전 나틸라리 용거래
러스
나틸라도 야나
알레 칼레부초네
예 칼레부초 되글나갈 나유마르데 다 다디생 장버를 난 대사디 나제네 산데 따따
알레
데디샤
예스
안네 산데 네산 포 경고지니 요다 포디
알레 캄바즈 땅고 말에
캄바 동에 말세 드모 땅이요 드모 같자래
알레 베바 샴바즈 땅고래
베바 센다 드모 땅이요
알레
베바 센다 다 캄바 타치도 땅이요 말 캄바 다 재밀 먹이 제네르와 먹이 제 샴바리 니요와 데디디 추고노 주찬노
yeah. So I will begin like this. So he said his escape was much easier than most of Tibetans who had to trek a lot of days, months, and also evade a lot of checkpoints like that. What he's saying is at that time he was working for some merchant, Gonjo means one place, Gonjo merchant, one of Gonjo merchant he was working for. They had mule, donkey like, mule, they had 8-9 mules, and they used to barter, go trade, between the borders, India and Tibet. They go to and fro, and so he came with that 8-9 mule loaded. But when they reached the border, Indian border, it was like, as previous lady said, that Chushi Gangdo, the resistance force, they are mainly from Kham, and they are fighting against China, So specifically, they are very strict about letting Khambas let in. So he had to let go the mule, with one other, helper. He had to let go mule, and he just acting like local native wood collector. He just climbed one hillside to pick, just pretending to be picking up wood, and he climbed that side, and since he know the way well before, he descended from other side where there is no check post. And when he came there to the master's other side, they are waiting there, and what he says that the mules, they have been going to and fro several times. They know the path already, so they are there, there. So it is quite similar to the one previous lady said. It was Kalimpong, very close to Gangtok, So it was through that Kalimpong side, he entered.
Were there other people with you when you made that journey?
And it's supedi and Kajibure and Shamba and Roma Kazure Chiksonrichis.
Did you not that you know Ngarajibi? Should they cheer?
Chibura.
Larry,
that is named the Rockbachil Times, red again.
did it them together? Tuva Yaman Rogi, they could not do the dance ceremony. Giza Geomar. Giza Geoman, Jamaica, Giza Geomar.
Yes. Yeah, he was only one with that mule, 8 mule, leading that mule. And the one helper he was talking about is just passers-by, stranger, just letting go with them, with him. And he didn't talk about that master other side, Otherwise they would know, So he was alone by that time, while coming into India.
Why did none of your family flee with you?
아니 게라케기 낭미여라. 낭미님도 마요 가르쳐야지. 개념도 매와 가르쳐야지. 수트디.
지연데 하나미 나도 뒤에 용왕왕 정하더니 데디 예 오마게 버데 잡아래.
라스.
그 오마 버데 잡아니네. 나 사방다 스자들 그 지가 용하래.
라스.
그 지가 용네. 이니 나 그 지가 용이니 따지 테 전에 사방다 봐도 지가 용. 그 사방다에 딸 재미가 못할 이유래. 못한 거야지. 몇지 chandu mutta tagati togando ane muzo nyenando ininando tajan ngaye taba member ko gengochi yo muzo midan yo toze chibando de yoyi hasal ta chapanda padu yo chapanda yone jaminge ya matan khamba chan malu khamba mata pas mate bache ta chozo 가르치는 나된 제거리. 뭐다 당가 말해서 뭐다 맞죠. 때는 뭐다 맞죠. 공부죠 용으로 와야. 아니 게 변자데 나와 중앙에 그것들로 정하는 거 놓치지래. 아니 게 그 양으로 놓는 제거들 때는 게 가야 사살 터요. 되는지.
So as he said, in 1957 he left his native place for Lhasa. Yeah. So he's telling how it happened. Since his one son of his youngest brother was a monk. At the native place, he want to go to Lhasa to study further, proper study at Sarah Dabunganden, So actually he was to see off at Sawapong Kasa, Sajajmin Kasa Sawapa Pashira. Sawapashira. One place called Sawa Zogong, Actually, he he came. He was to return from Sao Zonggong, and his brother's son is to go there, and from there at that time there was no flight, no regular buses like that, so they have to book bus. Then that is very infrequent. You get one weekly, monthly like that. But he said along with them there were 5 who are aspiring to be monk and one other elderly. Together they are 7. But when they reach there to book, there's Chinese, as he said earlier, they are very much against Khamba, and they said, since you are Khamba, you won't get ticket, for bus or vehicle any, So, and his brother's son was very adamant, very determined to go to Lhasa, so he didn't want to send him alone, so he came to Lhasa, with him. So leaving family at the native place, so he came to Lhasa alone. So maybe his answer is naturally, they are not with his family, is not with them at that time.
How long was your journey into India?
There is. Tadi mi sendak nando to nga kora jundro isem jitsu shoji te shye de karisa nga tadi nando man rocha nga tha yo mari jami ge magi chi chi ge jami chi chi izane ye de mi sendak duma nando na ta ne tene rekora jo na le jami chi chi sa de ginu cha
oh yeah you
ne te yu ga chen de chare.
One thing he want to add to your previous question is that he sent the mule, 8 mules with stranger, because just the most important thing was to evade Chinese backpost ahead. He want to evade that by going some hillside, then coming down other side, just to evade Chinese checkpost. Otherwise, he get caught.
And so, how long was the journey?
Oh yeah. Ani beni su yora de jagala suya la kazu gorsu sa langala kazu gorsu.
Langalo tanda nga khatu doi se ya ji yoro wa.
La.
De chira ngoya yo mar kon nama chi langa de. Sa thon lin yo.
Re.
Ngoma tamu yore dogu gu yo mar de nga hasan dawa chi de chega de den tene jagal chu musul machi da tubaju ni wani.
Yes.
Tubaju ni wani. Tene lochi ha de jere bel sa ko so.
Yes.
Lochi den dawa si de jere bel sa ko. Bel sa ko tan da tan da.
tingele jagal su yongyo regen re.
Je tingele tambo ngochu nga do lunju nga ngochu nga de ge chinda chuchi ba yin chini ba yin chi nga jagal jo yo. Ti. Lo te garon ta jagal jo yo. Pai ni ngochu nga do lu yore wala. Pai ngochu nga de chinda damba de yin tene chi sare. Tene chi ni yin tene.
Actually he said he had been to India before, living, in 1959 as a mule attendant, with mule, that going for with as a helper to the traders, He in around December 1957 he had been there. He know the route. So when you say how long it take, the lesson is the Sansampa the Kazgo, Tetian.
Sansampa there. Nama
it takes around, up to the border, it takes around 12 days, by leading the mules, donkeys, mules. So when he say escape, means inside the border, close to the border, he had to take one day sort of evading, that one. Precautionary alternative route, that it took 1 day.
What was the weather like during your journey?
Ani jagal chupedi ani namshi de gande tenso yabu tenso ani duja ches ka kange thema so.
Naji de thawa chamo 차와 첨을 당고서 별로 하장 사시 부러와야.
네네네.
대제 로tam을 차와 나네 내가는 때
랑갈 주베디.
랑갈 치 이들 기라기라 강에 튀어 말이야.
야야야.
랑갈 치유네 다 되는게 저저까지 지리 나를 꺼내면도 제 마타주는 때는 막이 내장에다 자지 통자 귀는 자자노.
그래서.
자통랑상 빠산 수마도 캄발리서 랑상 리콘 레지기비스. 내장에 두제 송으로. 나는 랑상 칼라서 사태는 랑상 뒤키키는 타요이.
The weather was not bad on road, no, in route he escaped, but the main problem was apprehension of being caught, no, by Chinese, no. Once he got to the other side of this master's house, and they were ready with tea, food, but they also are very fearful, since it is very close to the border, So they said, you must leave, fast, They serve food, tea, and then he had to leave,
When did you arrive in the place that you finally settled in India?
Pardon?
When did he arrive in the place that he finally settled down in India?
Tani gela kero
나리.
jagan sulen tape shichasa roji dora.
나리.
Tambu shichasa roji kawares, tambu tenja desa roji.
tam tenjan desasan jiyo maril. Ta nga jonda jiyo jonda desa de kalemburi kono desane. Nga mi rang jiyo nasana jiyo maril.
Ani dijel kalimbul shure.
Kalembul ta jonda de kalemburi chusa. Nga kunzu tuba chen diya. Kunzu tuba chen peche loni haji diya.
Jel ani jinda zalen jinda zaden bele galen.
Ta
Kalimbul.
kalembul bel pan rosa yo marwaya. 다 도젤이 또 드네 자히가 마서 잡바티 파주 오야 요래 드나게 리카나 뭐지
거기 대셔라 칼림보라
칼림보 그 도실 파 로츠로 제타나 데디차래 라리
as he said earlier, he used to work for one gojo merchant who do bartering selling getting things from Tibet, sold other nomadic cheese like from Tibet, and then bringing other modern things from India. And he used to worked for about 2 years. So when he came in India, he had no way to go. So obviously he stayed with the master there. And at that time, today also Darjeeling, all these things are famous for tea plantation. So he used to work for transporting, getting tea there, what should I say, transport services like that, getting tea delivered to the customers like that. He settled sort of in Kalimpong.
Were you married in India?
Ani jagala pene ani chansa jare vesa.
chansa jare maril.
춘 jaya mare.
Yo mar tadi shugunro tibana che tana ten chulo no ni shu tsanga no ni shu tsadolo de ngata ba jiare.
Rasa.
Ni tsadolo de insar ta tende ki jumuno de.
Komba kawa de bare kawa.
Razon lo sili.
Rasa.
Delo zu ta ba jiare. Delo zu ta ba jene pesata die.
Rasa.
Chenye pesata.
Yeah. No, he didn't marry, and at around 26, 7, he became a monk, same as our monastery, Dabong Losele Monastery. At that time, it was not here. It was, most of the monks were in Baksal, and a few are at Dalai, Dalai, So, he was at Dalai. Dalai was the name of one British lord. So hill station was named after him, Lord Dalai.
What was your life like in the monastery once you became a monk?
Ani dagela tawa chesane ni mizero kande chungsun.
Tawa chesan ta mizero bude tene chebu chung. Te chebu chung karisa ku pesatan chigno dona bu de his.
Las.
Chigno dona bu de hi yune tene sende pa Jitemba Jiali, Sendel, Dotanji Yoroya, Sendegam, Jitan, the Delton, Hiraki, Halia, Canada of Jine, then send the Koyamo and Guardian and Susan Dini, Yap Jujas on the Jangon of Sus. Tumble Pejatane, Lord, not Luciana, to the Colcapachu, Pejatana, Luciana, Pejanega, the Chekonji, Meki, Guardian, Durijona, Pengamano, Lolsina, Pengamano. Then I Peja Catana would sit on the Jones. And a peasant of do. Peasant of Hiraju. That Dijas on Tarisonia, and in Dijas on Jagado.
Yes.
The Pejatajaro, then the Pejata to the Suzuki.
No, Indy.
Lojuna to the chair, then Panto Chamber, he was
Yeah. Initially it was difficult because he was not read. No, he didn't read. He didn't get opportunity to go for education and very young. So it was 26, 27 when he started studying and practicing Buddhism. So initial 4-5 years it was a bit difficult for him. And slowly, and he felt it's very good, It was very, very good, that he became a monk. Not only that, he got opportunity to study under great masters, skillful masters of the time, And what he felt is that slowly he felt that his way of looking to the world got and seeing the things in wider perspectives, and taking things not that sort of seriously always, and things from positive sides. All these things, were taught love and compassion. All these things he gradually realized to benefit him personally in seeing the things and carrying forward his daily routines. So he's very happy and he's very grateful. Still, he rejoiced that he became a monk, and he feels very sort of contented with his life as of now.
What made you want to become a monk?
아니 자와체 디 간디스 체레스 삼는 좀제 로 간디 체레스
Tavajiad Tanandi Gain Jaru Kazisang again, Tate, get good river, get Jaru Yiserva, Jaru Gay, get Namachi Nadis Peso. And again, that Tono Kanayangachi Chena Tavaji and the son of that and I was Mama that Tono Tavaji is the gay cut to the Tavaji song. Get the Karikatu Pechi, the law was it.
How long?
Gag did Tono Tavaji Pagi, George Tayan, which gets the Drujus. Then not this that the Kujutaram is the Lama jury. Really, this are the Ramachadi Hira Shugumare, Chaluga, Rampin. And again, that's all Tavat cut to Koron, Zarachi and Jejos. Pan on the George Tianum gets you the Daran Salan gets you the Drew. I'm not saying you the Lord. Lochi had a Pesata Ramaso. Now you really don't John Tandy. And the Tenajian Pesata is Pesat Tag Delos. Ogasi could say Pesawa to the Vadire. Then Papa, then Pesana Tat. Delos the Susa Lucini Gigan Maran, called Cavaches. Gigan Tangaman, then the Delos Pesato the Tajarana, no Sibu in the Tamba de Carcena, Yohan, not on them, Chon de Manuaro. Then Yabajun, then Susa the Tabato Varanasi lota, Thorin lota tam, then Jechal Pasu tam. That Travasana Hira Mamaje, Pecha Gigan, Pecha Gigan Chanan, Gen Tona Paragi, Gen Namajan Yoro, Gen Pure, the gang at Chagalo, Namacho, the Tegret, Dojo, the Namacho, the Najmato, Hiratatu, good given of Jen. And the Peja Teza Maravaje, the Kang Juma to say, the Lord Gigan, the Katuchi, the one again Tajan Yuana, Peja told the Hisaya.
So it was like having seen ups and downs of life in his ups and downs, many ups and downs in his life, he felt, he got inspired the way the monks are living, studying, practicing. So he had long wished to become a monk, and it was. And then there was an abbot, former abbot of Drabung Losali Monastery from Gyarong Khyentse Rinpoche. He is very renowned and also a practitioner and very frank, serious, So that abbot, himself came to his room one day and he said, you become monk next day. You don't wait. You become a monk next day. And he said. And he also has great desire to become a monk. So it was very he thought he was seeing his intention, all these things. So he was very happy. And that abbot for Khyentse Rinpoche guided him to get novice vow from none other than his Holiness Lama's tutor, Tejang Rinpoche. He went to Dharamsala to get novice vow from Tejang Rinpoche, and after returning to Dalai, since he doesn't know much Tibetan writing, spellings, he had to go through 1.5 years preliminary language classes, before starting the actual philosophy school classes. And after 1 or 2 years, he was fortunate to start actual Buddhist studies. And for your kind information, then Ganden, Debung, all these are not here. They are in Baksar, and also few of them are in Dalhousie, that region. Since we Tibetans are mainly used to cold places, maybe they thought hillsides are better initially. So at that time there are many great scholars and at Dalhousie. So they are very fortunate to get that 4 or 5 years of great teachings, great lessons from them. Afterwards, when the re-establishment of this Mundgod and Balagobi monastery started, then monks went there. Went to their own monasteries, and then Dalhousie, he felt they face lack of teachers there, and gradually there was problem with qualified teaching there. So otherwise, he said he felt he could have been benefited much more. He could have learned much more, but unfortunately, later on, the shortage of teacher was there, and so he said, and still he was very blessed, privileged to have had teachings from great masters from their direct mouth, speak.
Do you hear any concerning news about nuns and monks that are still in Tibet?
Pardon?
Does he hear any concerning news about the nuns and monks that are still in Tibet?
Ane bela ane gela ke ro. Bela ane tajun ro da mise ke thaba da chuma de zo thola ane pagila neju pagila ro. Samsab neju dugja den ro khoe dwe sa phai bela 별 여기 내주되는 거에 대해서.
노스. 별 내지 다 사촌 다 버라카차로 와라. 사촌 버라카차 지때는 파기 내지 다리손 내지 사바다나 제 고마소 이네 가르스 그리 지 럽다도 데 감반의 천진로 저거 말이세요. 나버터나 지 다다 지기 요리에서 약간 기사 단초나 버지고 근데 파기 가르서 근데 디디 인다면 다 하고 말어 들지 고스
he says that his main worry is that now, as you might be knowing that, and Chinese policy get changing, very often. But nowadays, what they do is they don't allow, and they don't give visa to Tibetans coming here to India, and also very restricted, and they rarely give visa to Tibetan going back to Tibet. So what they are doing is that what his concern is that since many of us monks from here, they go there and serve the native monasteries in helping them in reviving Tibetan Buddhism, all these things. Maybe they target that, They see that if they come, they do this revival jobs, all these things. And also when they allowed Tibetans to come to India, they get educated here, and later on they return and come there and create problem. So, and also he heard something like school students, lay people, they are not allowed to even go to monasteries for pilgrimages and also offerings like that. So lots of restrictions are there, he said.
What is your hope for Tibet in the future?
아니 다 마음 벽이 다 이게 라와도 저라. 다 라와도지 다 가르여 상직 가르 성러시스.
마음 벽 라와나브데 다 라와나브데 야부 유사리에서 가르 라와나브 들어진도.
라사.
디 가리자 자나게 보 마음부터네 아리도 유루트서 럽다 마음부터 무다 마음부여 살아. 자나네.
라라라.
다 됐어 로주지지. 아니 지고스서게 마주 개변데 마주게 캐와들 논제지. 다 됐어 보고도 야지 차지 제나. 자나게 단다 세완제 당기 지 중게나 지 단다지 여러 때 후야 때네 당기를 해서 대대기도 때 후야 당소나 자나 마주나 버진 주아이나 때는 아주 별이 마주 주위 와산데 체레 마트네 다 개기 동로 지닌 걸 때는 배바데 가르치그리 지 코로나 라제 사마나기 나리 미리 산에런중 게데치나기 나리 다테 텐데 라산테 토르그리서 단다테 재미게 밀레 미리 산에런중데 밀레제 나고 요마로야 다티 수자데 자나 중기 그런 중근 것에 대해서 그 푸지지 따서나 되는 normal 뭐지기 캐는데 그거 여러와야 대인산이 아버지 용거에서 무슨 러와 띵이 러와 때가요 러와 때요 양 무슨 별리도 가서 다 별리게서 러와 적네 러와 적네 다 자가 다 셔네 남아산이 해서는 무슨 파세생 뻗어야만 다네 아버지 조수 다나 봐주지 남비칠에 로주나부터 제지라 대 남비칠에 로주 제지라야들 냐시나부 템템 담anga 저정아 마도 제주 마주네한테 냐시나부 제지라 대 대적에 캐펜데 소소 비조 동지라 와야 다이나 남아산이 세수나 파세생 뻗어지면다 그래서 별 얘기를 다 별지 기부지 요거를 서서 소소를 때요 말다 지우게 찾는다 그래도 아버지 용사리에서 자르면 저기 제바 텔리로 나는 대발 주지쟁이 지거야 대제 정한이 손 연대로 와 나는 뜻서 간가 초도나 붙이잖아 주자 별응은에 여부 용사리 선로한테
Yes.
저기요.
Yes.
디. also.
Yes, he's very hopeful about bright future for Tibet because of mainly because of his son's Dalai Lama, no, and his vision, all these things. And individually, he doesn't think he can make in return to Tibet, but but what he thinks is that the most important thing is that he always strives to make a day, perfect day, by as best as possible by practicing, and what he has learned, so that whatever he has in 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 2 year, whatever life, he can spend it best in quality. Even he doesn't think about quantity. So, and one other aspect he's talking about, not only by his one's the vision, guidance, all these things. What we see is that now the world, almost all nations function by democracy. So Chinese people, many Chinese, he says lakhs, hundred thousands of Chinese live China to study in Europe, USA, and they see the benefits of democracy, and freedom, all these things, and then naturally there will have ripple effect on the other Chinese brothers, sisters. So naturally the Chinese authorities can't suppress them forever. There would be change, So once there is changes in China in terms of democracy, freedom, or everything, naturally Tibet will be also be benefited. If even if it doesn't get immediate changes, it will certainly happen in months and years. And what we are right now striving is, by His Holiness Dalai Lama and we here, is union autonomy of Tibet. But he hopes that we will get it would be possible we get total freedom from China also by someday.
Do you believe that the current Dalai Lama will ever return to Tibet?
아니 다나 여원 부지 군디 줍시 봐 전부로 아니 별라 아니 양자 폐기디 지로 페투 그래 공대에서
다 되는 전에 그 로나버지 존이 카이 제기 요래데 다때 단단디 가르시리 메리산에 런주데 단다지 그그 자민 자나노도 지 카미나버지 나에게 다 사이에 돈은 그러면 투기 여름에로 다니서는 같이 소소 토질 여봤단다 그러면 마투어로 와야 단단한 가라는데 가디로 와 다때서 지 무슨 그러면 아버지는 단에 지 토지는 자름제 군 자대 쪼슈기세 자 쪼수슈기세 수고 여러 와 다때네 유튜브에 있나 때네 페투게 다 자나노도 까미나네 런중 메리산에 런중 와야나지 자나 마주 중 차네 마주기 중제 단다 마슈게 지고데 다 보라 슈나분디는데 마주 주도나 다 가지 더발 따지 연대로와 다 야부야 타제네 다때 마주네 파지기 까미나네 까미나디에 다 까미나사 다 나데 지나나 데버린디오 고는 아주 미리산에 런중게 나주로 토다 귀제 사마다 숄니슈도 지요 캥게 자나슈로 피차로 와. 다 자나슈 차로 여러 와. 다 바기 까미나 버지는 지 고수 고마다 버데 또지 고양데 지난 질 하버 차니 사리. 질 하버 차니 사리 다때 그나 지는 자나게 단다 티조 젠디요 다때 원수 천하버 가라겠는 히라게 다 근데 별 페투기리 선선게 다 이치나버 타치도 히라 제투구면 군대는 물 제주 자기를 배리로
No.
때는 전에 중국다 지소 재단 때는 지리 때는 다 이내 내닝어마 가르지 시진병에 치지 가발 질 배ren데네 나비치데 쳐서 나바이 아버지 조주 때는 단다 자나 노치데 히라 나찬로 여리스 그래서 주자 야 라스지야는 저쪽에 슈조그리스 때는지 송아리스 그래서 소나 그래서 야부지리에서 제대로 좋아야 그래서 타치도 저름제 별 배투기를 선상하니 이 지키라면
So he says he can't say for sure that he will return, but as we say, hope for the best and prepare for the worst, you know. So he would say that it depends on two, you know, like as he said earlier, changes, democratic changes in China. If that happens, naturally there would be, you know, hope, you know, for us, not only His Holiness Dalai Lama to return. There will be hope. That is one aspect. The other thing is that talk between us exiled, you know, in Tibetan and Chinese officials. So as of now, openly we don't see any. It seems some it is got stuck, no, stagnant, stuck. We don't know something going on backdoor, no. Hopefully. If that is case, it will be good. No, they are talking some backdoor, talking, you know, not openly. So what he says that we, from our point of view, we are only demanding about genuine autonomous for Tibet, not total, complete freedom for Tibet. It has been, we have been doing this for past 30 years or so. So we have given our so demands, our conditions, all these things to them, but it's been very hard line policy from their side. And one brighter note is what he here is one of during one visit or foreign visit, current leader President Xi Jinping, he said that you Tibetans outside, you are keeping Tibetan, not Buddhism, very much alive, preserving, revival, all these things you are doing that very much good. And in China it is very much degrading and it needs to be revived. So you should do, you continue like that. According to that, he has some positive, so he hears something like people say Xi Jinping something like said. He said something to in that regard, no. So he thinks that there's some positive notes in leaderships, no. Or in all, he said that it's, as he said, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, no. So we are doing our best so that His Holiness and we all return to Tibet, and also it depends on other factors like changes in China.
Do you believe that monks and nuns should become involved in the political struggle surrounding Tibet's future?
아니, genla ro. Dana ngazu pyogi chapsina ro. Da ngazu tabzu ro. Da pyogi tabzu so ro tabzu da dinala 잡아다 아니 줘라. 내가 주슈 체줘라. 이 체나 야그레 체나 만체나 야그레 세줘라. 디토라 잡아다 아니 줘라. 찹시난 주나 디 세줘라. 디토라 아니 네 삼자스네 공주스네 가려스.
다디 가르스비리 그런 신제 도지 찬들이 상도 다디 신제 도지 찬. 다 신제 도지 찬 초지 톨다 주주 전에 초지 논도 주주 전에 메말로 케메 차원도나 딘 주주 전에 야기리서 다 때때기도 초지 논다 주네 때는 메말로 지 로펜라버데 따따 차용도나 딘 주주 전에 야기리서 야 초지로 이라 투네메게 타지도 추코로 돌 랄렌타는 펜닝 대런 tunde nani diji yoro aya de ne chosen juju nageya marelane de kono yan misi jiri ko chi kono tol pesana da yabri sangdo ta yan dangkhana jene chi kono ge tol lalen tan pya ta chosi tol juju jene ni den inde keben gar chesartane chosi tol juju jena memal keben cha yusar sana ane Raba inana, ani inana, chosi ina tanzushi jene chali nana, de pelo cho ziyarwa, de yabri sangano, dinga tingdu, da di sinje ki doji chan chebandu sangano, na dinga jingi.
He doesn't know much about politics, he says, but what he feels is that it depends on individual to individual, and in fact, Buddhism, when we say practice of Buddhism, it's all about love and compassion, altruism, to benefit others, So when we talk about politics by monks and nuns, if that monk, out of compassion, out of motivation to benefit others, he sees scope to help others, to help society like that, he has the capability, then it will be good, Otherwise, pure politics means without motivation of helping others, benefiting, just dirty politics, he won't suggest to join that. And one other thing he says is that if Dharma practitioner, monks or nuns or lay person, if he is very inclined to devote all his energy, all his time to the spiritual, practices only, that would be, he would be advisable not to join the politics, If he or she doesn't have the aptitude or the necessary qualities for the, politics, all these things.
So before we finish, is there anything else that you would like to share with us that we haven't spoken about yet?
Danda juma dungel roda kalaganzam tsasons ro ta juma dungel danda twa mati ba jora mati ban ani gen khera gi soye de ro chi gen gi soye de na sonro chi sa
ta ngal hiya sana chi yong da ngam karsi gri danda personally ton ji danda pe
ka gen be awa song
hing ji mari ta ti kar chogri ta shya sana che yine ta den pinga ga lo chen te hije thobo chang re den te su dande bedo tholu chu joni sare mom pale te shu ya bu joro che
yeah
ane ma to hira ye mendo ti.
He has nothing left to add, but and he sees you are young and intelligent, educated, and so you have great future ahead, and he has his humble prayers for that, and also thank you so much being so supportive to our Tibetan cause, and request you to continue that.
Well, once again, thank you so much for taking your time to be here with us. Personally, it's an honor for me to be able to share your story with the world. So we're all very appreciative.
아니 타마들라 양자 아니 건서 상마 ngwene 아니 투지 쉐인스 갱기 투지 담베 칼레 데페네로 아니 칼로베 쇼시 오스나스스로 안디마세 아니 코랑 ngwene 아니 코라기로 갱기 다 루주치로 티 아니 다디 카샤로 카샤디 지마 아니 다 미랍 사바다 조기다 티치 지마 아니 다 벽이 루주도로 아니 네당다 덴데 토네니 아니 세라겐데 코라조기로 미스라 따당다 유아도에다 근데 요 근데 용그레스 투지 치에스 담아 투지